Hello and welcome to episode 1 of my Fortresscraft Evolved tutorial Let's Play series. This episode will be on an introduction to Fortresscraft Evolved. Now here is a game that has sat in my library for well over a year because the last time I tried it, it simply wouldn't load. But I tried it a while ago and what a fantastic surprise I got. This is one wonderful game to play. Think of it as a cross between Minecraft, Creativerse and Factorio, and probably a whole host of other games as well. It really is a great survival crafting sandbox game with a whole load more thrown in for good measure. Fortresscraft Evolved is on Steam and is priced at £9.99 or $12.96. It is currently on sale with 50% off until the 5th of July 2017. So hopefully you're watching this before then. So the price is at the moment, until while the sale is on, £5 or roughly $7, and it is developed by Projector Games. This is what it says on the Steam store page. Fortresscraft Evolved Survival Mode is a unique blend of voxel landscapes, tower defense, crafting, logistics, exploration, combat and assembly lines. Players begin by crash landing on a strange alien world left with only a small handful of starting machines. Using a handheld scanner, they must locate ore and resources, place down ore extractors and conveyors to automate the raw material back to the smelter. Take the fresh ingots through multi-machine assembly lines, followed by researching new technologies that help them explore thousands of meters below the planet's surface. And one thing I will say on that note is if you're used to playing Minecraft and it going down to minus level 64, I think, well, in this game you're about to see that get a world deeper. You're going to see it goes really deep. Anyway, so here we are on the start screen. Over here you can see you've got multiplayer if you want. I'm going to play solo on this world select. Over here's some add-ons that you can get. Frozen Factory, I have purchased it, but it's a long way off before we start using any of the stuff from that. So I wanted to start with the vanilla Fortresscraft Evolved. So if I press the space bar, that takes us to here. Here you can choose different worlds. Like I've been playing this one for 4 days, 2 hours, 15 minutes in real time. But if you click this right arrow, you can choose a different world to start in. So there's Highford. If I click again, I can do DJ Land. Now what I'm going to do, two things to make it different from the vanilla. One, I'm going to use a mod. I'm going to use Tricky's Storage Hoppers, which is from the Steam Workshop. Definitely you want to use that because it adds something that really makes the game better, as in storage wise. So definitely choose that. And the only other change I will make is Eternal Day, simply because it will be much easier for recording. Because trust me when I tell you, eventually you have to gather so many resources and that make a huge impact, plus you'll be able to see better. Everything else I'll leave defaulted, and then I will create the world. The difference is with the different worlds you just see is this basically how the land looks. Like with some of them it might be like a bright green landscape, others it might be snow capped. With this DJ Land, well, we're going to see what it looks like. The wonderful thing about Fortresscraft Evolved is you need technology in order to survive and get deeper. The better technology you've got, the more of the world you can explore, and to me that's perfect. So here we go, we're starting right at the intro. We're hoping to land on this space station, but here comes a comet to change our minds. So well done, this game. Absolute joy to play. And while it's got 50% off, well, you're laughing. And that was a good film and a good book. Okay, so here we are, survival. You have survived the initial crash, and Anther sacrificed himself to make you a tiny survival environment. How nice of Arthur, I should say. I think that's Arthur. Should have a U there, but never mind. Arthur will now explain a few of the base's features. The force field will disable when this is completed. So when we've gone through this little tutorial, this dome force field will go. Your CPH, Central Power Hub, is the centre of your base and will provide small amounts of power when fed resources. Look at your CPH and press E to access it. You can then click Add Resources to feed it some coal. So if we OK that, okay, this is the CPH, Central Processing Hub. You can see in the bottom left it's telling us that. It says, and it's also telling us if we press the E key on it, we can access it. So let's do that. Okay, so here's access to the power hub. Now the next thing that it's told us to do is to add some resources to it. So if we click Add Resources, it now says Power Storage Batteries, PSBs. Power storage batteries are your primary way of storing power for your base. Locate your PSB in your base now, then highlight it. Pressing Q will draw power from the PSB into your suit, which in turn will keep you warm. So this PCB will gather the solar power from the sun, and it will store that power in a power storage battery. Okay, now we haven't actually added any coal to this, so let's do that first. There we go. Oh, it did add some actually when I clicked. When you click it, it adds the coal straight out of your pocket. To get into your pocket, just press the I key, and in there you'll see it starts you with a certain amount of coal. Well, I've got 3 now. Okay, so let's do what it says and access the battery. And it says here, hold Q to fill your suit from this power storage block. Okay, so let's do the Q key over it. And notice that that's drawn us a little power into our suit. There's our power up there for our suit, and it's full. Ore extractors. Ore extractors collect ore whilst you're busy doing other things and require power. Locate your ore extractor and access it with the E key. Feed it 200 power and it will work for over 8 minutes. So that's what it looks like. Let's do it. So behind us you will see the ore extractor. If we press the E key on it like it's telling us to, and then we can add power, and we'll be adding the power straight from our suit, as you're going to see. And it said 200, so I'm just going to keep that pressed and it'll go up all the way. There we go, 200. Storage hoppers, which looks like this. Now remember that mod I said we've added? That mod adds a whole line of storage hoppers, but it's not a game breaker because they're very expensive. And they're not easy to make, but they are very useful. Anyway, the default vanilla ones, there's 3 different types, and it starts off with us using this storage hopper here. So storage hoppers store and process items automatically. Your machines will take resources from or give them to a storage hopper. Locate your storage hopper and press Q to empty it. Remove the coal that has been mined. So because we gave the ore extractor power, it's now mining this ore node, this coal node, which is behind it and below it, and putting it into this storage hopper. If I press the E key, you can see we've currently got this much stored within there. But if we just press the Q key over it, it will gather the resources for us. Scanning. You can ping to locate known or unknown items in the world. Once an unknown item is found, you can then scan it. Find an unscanned item now, highlight it and hold the right mouse button until it's scanned. Okay, well, let's just do the Q on that to grab all that coal, because you sometimes have to do it more than once if it fills up more than one slot. Now on to scanning. Notice me hovering the scanner around these blocks. It gives us a little question mark. Well, we see it a moment ago. that means we do not know what this material is yet, this rock. So in order to scan it, we will simply do the right mouse button. And you see it's scanning unknown block. You keep the mouse button pressed, right mouse button pressed, and eventually it will finish scanning. Once scanned, unknown items need to be researched. Locate and highlight your research station and then press E to interact and complete the research. Researching earns points to unlock new technologies, and this does all work rather well. Now, because I've scanned this block here, I don't know what it's called yet, this material, but because I've scanned it, that means now all of that white material will be scanned. So we come over to the research station, which is this one here. See on the left it tells us, bottom left corner, research station. You press the E key and it brings up this window. Now this is the material I just scanned. So if I left click on it and then left click process, it will now tell us what that material is. Simple crafting. Arthur has helped you through the start of your survival mission. Now it's time to say thank you. Head to the crafting plant, select it, press E and make a power core for Arthur. Okay, so let's just have a look in here first. In fact, no, what I want to show you is just the material. So, oh, is it not updated? Interesting. Okay, I guess we'd better follow on with the tutorial. But normally it'll tell you what the resource is once you've scanned it in here. Anyway, let's hop to here. So this is your crafting station. Manufacturing plant. If we press the E key on it, it's telling us we need to make Arthur his power core. So if we go to this one, Arthur upgrades, there's the Arthur power core. So if we left click on it, it tells us the resources we need to make it, which is 2 copper bars, which thankfully the game has given us. So we'll left click craft. And there we go. Do you hear that lovely crafting? I do love that. You've got a few storage hoppers, laser power transmitters and conveyor belts left over. Locate the hollow tutorial around the CPH. This shows you an ideal miniature automation setup. Place your machines there. Right, okay, notice the force field's gone. So with the tutorial finishing, that's now removed. So it means we can go off and explore, which is good. Okay, we've created the core. If I press the I key to bring up my pocket, you can also press the S key as it tells you down here. That brings up the suit upgrades window, and what you can do, you can drop items into that to store them rather than wasting space in your inventory. So see it as extra space, but you can only use it for items held in your inventory. Okay, press the S key again, gets rid of it. So here's a load of items that the game has given us to start us off with. We've got some ore extractors, some torches, some power transmitters. They basically will send power from our CPH to whatever device, as in ore extractor, to give it power. This is like a battery, so it stores power in it, which our CPH gathers. Storage hoppers you've seen. Conveyor belts, we're going to have a load of fun with them. Coal is a main fuel source to start with. This is a faster type of conveyor belt, as you're going to see. And over here we have, oh, what's that one called? Logistics hopper, which only holds 2 items at a time and is slower than your storage hopper. But we'll take a look at this as we go along. Okay, so it's told us to go to this setup over here. Remember, that's our ore extractor, that's our storage hopper. It can fit 100 items in it. Doesn't have to be the same type of item. You can have one of each of 100 different types of items if you want, but it's best with really just storing, 100 of the same type. You can use these to input and output via conveyor belts or machines. So what it's telling us here to do is it's saying to set up a power transmitter here. Notice in the top right there it says place tutorial laser transmitter. So that's what it wants us to do, which is a basic laser energy transmitter. We're going to... Oh, there's the timer, but because this is the first episode, I'll let it go on a bit longer. This is the battery. So this is storing power. It's got 200 power, which it's storing from our main central power hub. So we're going to put a basic laser energy transmitter right next to it so it can start sending that power. So if we left click after highlighting it on the hotbar down here, that now has placed it. Next, what you have to do is either the right bracket or the left bracket or the R key, I believe, as well. Does the R key do? Yeah, or the R key. So I'll say R key and turn it, keep pressing the R key until this laser beam is going into this other battery. So watch this. There you go. That's now shooting the beam into here. Notice now this battery is slowly getting power from that laser transmitter, which in turn is feeding power into our ore extractor. How cool is that? Which in turn is putting ore, coal, into this storage hopper. Notice this storage hopper though is now full, so it's not storing any more coal. Notice on the top of it, it's turned red. If you go to a storage hopper that's empty, you'll notice it's green, but this visually tells you it's full with the red icon. So what we want to do then is now feed this across to another storage hopper placed besides our central power hub. And what the central power hub will do is automatically pull coal out of this storage hopper to give it fuel so it can keep feeding power, topping it up. So let's do that next. Let's place another storage hopper here, and now we need to get the coal from that storage hopper to this storage hopper, which we will do via conveyor belts. So I normally take it one under the ground, but just to make the tutorial happy, I will place them just where it's telling us. Now they will go drop down, you'll notice, in a direction you're facing. So if I stand here and left click there, there's our first conveyor belt. Now what you can do, if I stand on top of this, if I press the control key and left click, see, it fills in automatically any conveyor belts for us. And how cool is this? Look, now the coal is being fed from here and it's going to go into this one, and what this will now do is feed coal to our central power hub. It will only use coal when the central power hub's power gets down to about here. You will notice otherwise it doesn't use the coal, which is good because it doesn't waste it. So it only uses it as it requires it. Okay, so in the early days of Fortresscraft, you'd have to put down torches to keep yourself warm, because otherwise your power up in the top left for your suit would keep draining. Because notice the external temperature is -10 centigrade, so it's quite cold. But however, with the updates that have happened over time, it's now sufficient just for you to be able to walk around. You'll notice I'm not in any danger. It's only when you go mining deep. So okay, we've got that done for the tutorial. Now it's saying use scanner M to find copper ore, use the scanner to find tin ore, place hoppers next to the ore smelter. So here is our ore smelter, and it's saying that we must place either side of it a storage hopper. That's how we can feed resources, ores, into it to be smelted, and it will automatically output them smelted ingots into another storage hopper. So let's do that. So we'll left click there and we'll left click there. Okay, see, it's all happy. Smelting automation. Automation is going to be the key to success. Your smelter can interface with adjacent hoppers of any type. However, if you've not specific with your instructions, then all sorts of bad things could happen and will happen. Set the permissions now to have one add only hopper and one remove only hopper. Put the ore into the remove only hopper and ingots will be placed into the add only. So what it's telling us there is we're going to be putting the ores in here. So we can choose remove only. And that way it's only going to remove the ores from here to put into the smelter. And likewise for this storage hopper, we want to do add only. So it won't try removing ingots into the smelter. It will simply put the smelted ingots into this hopper. So remove. So remember, that from the left hand one with the ores we do remove only, and the right hand one with the ingots we do add only. Okay, now we need to try and find some ores. It's telling us up there in the top right as well to press H to open the handbook, which is a helpful contextual help, and it will cover all of the subjects. So this block that we see here, this white block, if we left click, you can see it's organic detritus. Let's look in my pocket to see if it tells us that yet. Oh, we haven't got any. So let's mine a little up so you can see. Maybe that's why I've not been able to get it yet. So if you just simply right click, so let's get some that's up here. You see your mine. Left clicking will place down whatever you've got highlighted on your hotbar. Right clicking will mine the blocks. Nice and simple. So you can see that that material that I researched earlier is this one. And if I switch to another hotbar, you'll see it's organic detritus. I could place it in this hotbar, but I like, well, that we don't need. If you want to remove something off of the hotbar, right click on it and it will remove it. If you want to add something, just drag and drop. So left click, keep it pressed and drag and drop it. If you want to remove it, right click. I like to keep that here because I like to use this to build with. I don't need the coal on there, but you can keep the coal on there because it's handy for example, if I go over to something that needs coal, if I highlight the coal, I can press the T key and it will place that resource straight into that hopper or machine. But I don't, so for now what I'll do is I'll remove the coal by right clicking. Okay, so here we go. We've done the most of the starting tutorial. It's just telling us now to scan for some tin and copper. So if I press the M key, that's how you bring up your scanner. If I press the X key, that's how you get to your terraforming tool, your drill. And the thing to remember about Fortresscraft, this has got an amazing range to it. So I can aim right over there in a distance and I can remove blocks. Look at that. So cool. The same goes for if you're really far away from one of your machines. You can highlight it, press the E key and bring up its control panel from a great distance away. So do try to remember that. Okay, let's try and scan those. So if I press the M key, you can use the middle scroll mouse button to scroll between ping unknown, ping known ore, or ping air. Ping air is if you want to try and find caverns underground. Ping known ore is if you're looking for a specific type of ore. We're looking for any ore. So if I right click with that, oh sorry, not right click, if I left click, it sends a massive ping out and it's scanning for everything material wise I've not yet learned. So if we walk around, you can see a question mark appears over anything that I've not scanned. So if I right click, I can now scan that. Remember, we will need to go back to the research station though before it will recognise what this is. So I'm going to show you that by harvesting it. And you'll see when we go into my pocket it appears as a question mark until we go and scan it. But let's go see if we can find some more unknown resources. Now the trees I know we've not done, So let's go over here. And you see it's question mark for the trees, so let's scan them. Okay, now if I want to harvest a tree, I will press the left shift key and then right click, and that harvests the whole tree. How cool is that? We've now got the resources from that tree, but we will need to go scan it before we will know what they are. Okay, we're trying to find though copper and tin. A good tip to find the copper and tin very easily is to go over to here where your crashed ship has landed, because it usually puts a big crater in the ground, which will then show up some ores sometimes if you're lucky, or not if you're not. Oh, what's that down there? There's another tree. So there, yeah, I was lucky because there's an ore over there. Let's left click. See all the scanned blocks appear momentarily, but if we come over here, you can see here's another resource. So let's right click and scan it. Okay, so we've scanned that. Now I've got a feeling that that is tin. Oh, and we've not, I can scan this as well. Okay, let's go back and have a look at what these items are that I've been scanning and see what ore that was. So we go back to the research station, which is there. Press the E key, so let's do that one first. Okay, so that's a tri-seed. Next, this one. Notice different materials give you different amount of points. Research points, and with the research points is what you use to unlock recipes and projects. Projects basically give you lore behind the game and also new technologies. Oh, there's so many wonderful things. Anyway, let's carry on scanning. Okay, so that's glow tubes. Tree trunk, that was the tree, so I've got tree trunks from it. And that was tin, so I was right. That was tin ore. So we've got tin now. And what's this last one? Is rough hewn rock. Okay, so I still need to find copper. Now, generally what you can do is you can go around and scan, blah, 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 like that. But what I like to do is I have my base underground. So the chances are, if you make your base underground, the chances are you're going to stumble upon copper, tin, coal with your in your immediate area with your base. So rather than going off running around looking for copper and tin, I prefer just to start building my base, because that way the chances are I'm going to come across copper and tin as I'm doing it, so it saves me time because I'm not having to run around looking for it. I'm just going to gather a load of wood because it's most useful for building storage crates. And you can see you get a ton of wood. Oh, there's a bit down there left. Come on, pick up. Okay, so that's sufficient. Oh, look at that, there's some more coal. How cool. Anyway, so let's start building a base. In fact, actually, I can get so carried away with this. I really do love playing Fortresscraft. I'll end this episode here because it was only supposed to be 15 minutes. In the next episode, we're going to start building an amazing base. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Fortresscraft Evolved. Goodbye.